Hello, this is Noreen Crone-Findlay from to+video. I have started a project, well, I've actually been working on it for a couple of years now, at the same time as dealing with chronic illness, which slows everything down to sometimes to a grinding halt. Well, every day, at sometime during every day, everything grinds to a halt. But anyhow, I've been working on a project that I'm calling Weaving Kindness. And as I've been living with chronic illness, I can't weave on large looms anymore. And I've actually given away or sold most of my looms. And now this is the only loom that I'm actually weaving on. This is the Kindness pin loom that I designed to weave wonderful, my little woven wonderfuls that are so small kindness gifts, because it's so important for us to create community by doing things that say to other people, you matter, I care about you, I wish you well. So that's what the Kindness Project is all about. So in the Kindness Project, I have made a full PDF with step-by-step photographs and instructions for how to make your own eco-friendly kindness loom. Now that PDF is in my Etsy shop, and there are a ton of projects that I've been working on. Some of them are going to be free on YouTube. Most of them are actually going to be, because I have to make step-by-step photo PDFs, and that's an extraordinary amount of work, especially for someone dealing with chronic illness and the unbelievable levels of fatigue. So most of the patterns for the projects are in my Etsy shop for a nominal fee. And all those links are on to+video.com, my blog. Now, with no further ado, I will post that link in the description of this video. This video is about how to weave one of the basic shapes that almost all of the projects, and there are a lot of them in the Weaving Kindness project, most of them have at least one, and some of them have a whole lot more, square. And so there are a couple of tricks to weaving squares on the Kindness loom, and I just want to run over with you them. The Kindness loom is small, it fits in your hands. I'm working with it on tabletop so that I can have both hands free to be showing you exactly what I'm doing, but I like to also hold it in my hand. It's very comforting in your hand. So the base of it is round, because that really is a lovely comforting shape. And there's a removable, replaceable cardstock top, and I've doodled on this one. And you can make that either round or square. And you'll make a template for your pin placement. They're quilting pins, and that's really important to use the good sturdy hefty quilting pins. I actually inherited my mom's quilting pins, but I checked and you can buy them online or in sewing shops or craft shops. And the reason why, there's a couple of reasons why I made the top of the loom with a cardstock top, because one, it is such an easy way to have your template for the pins marked very precisely on it. Plus two, you can wear the top of your loom out, and so this protects your loom, and then you can just change it when it wears out. And the third reason is because it allows you to lock your threads in. You take your yarn ends in under the card, and then you don't have to tie knots in your thread to start. So without any further ado, I'm going to warp up the loom. So I take my yarn I kind of push it over towards the pins. Let's go down a little closer here. And I go up and come down again. And I want this to not be tight because I want this set of warp strands to be snugged up against the pin. So I'm kind of holding it in place there. And I go up and down across. Now, when I get to this side, I don't come to the right of this last lower pin. I come to the left of that. And just for a moment, I'm going to take the yarn ends under the loom just so they're secure. I'm going to insert a plastic craft needle in at the top edge here to be my shed stick, so that all the rows that are woven from the left to the right, you just will slip your weaving needle in the space between the warp strands that the shed stick, i.e. this weaving needle, and you can either use a long one like this or a shorter one like this. Either one works great because it's just holding the top layer up from the lower layer. Now I'm going to take my yarn around the loom, around the pins 5 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm just pulling both ends of yarn up off the ball. I'm working with very thin lace weight yarn, and so I'm using 2 strands held together. So fine yarns like lace weight yarns and number 3 and 4 lightweight and medium weight yarns, they're all great for, where did I put my scissors? I have scissors here. Okay, here they are. So number 3 and number 4 weight yarns, like sport weight and worsted, double knitting, those are all great. Super chunky and also really grabby yarns like really hairy mohairs, kind of not as great. Now, oh, and it takes about a yard or a meter of 1 strand of yarn to weave a square. Because I'm doubling up with this yarn, it'll take me 2 yards or 2 meters. Now, I really quite like either, about a 5-inch metal weaving needle, or plastic ones are nice because they're kind of flexible. Either one works great, or your 6-inch long plastic one. They all work really well. So now my first row is going from the left to the right, so I'm holding the yarn in place at the bottom with my index finger of my right hand, and I slide this in. Now I'm going to just lift the yarn over and push the shed stick up there, because what I want, and often it will grab those tail ends. I want the yarn to go around, not that around, but around this lower left-hand pin. If you wrap it around, make a loop around, you end up with a little bump out at the end of the weaving, which it's a little detail, but I don't like it. So I do it this way, and so that's what I'm telling you. So then the row that's woven from the right to the left, you will go over, under, across, and I always I push down on the last row of weaving, and I go at an angle, come down. You can use your shed stick to push that row into place, and then you go back and will just scoot along the shed stick. And I like to make sure that that's like I've come that way and down. I like to make sure that that is securely in place. And as I weave from the right to the left, I weave my needle through, and then I'll just push that last row in towards the fell line, and the fell line is the last row of weaving. So you just will continue with those 2 rows. Now this is tabby. If I wanted it to be weft faced, I would just keep packing the weaving down until all the warp strands were covered. And so that means that you can actually weave teeny tiny tapestries on the Kindness loom. But that's for another day. I'll show you how to do that another time. This time, this is just square one, and I will be doing more videos about the different shapes that you'll be using as I get the patterns for all the projects up and PDFs made of them. That's a kind of a slow process. That's a monstrous amount of work. So this is an ongoing project, and I hope you'll join me in creating woven wonderfuls that you can have a pocket full of treasures that you'll be able to give to people who just need a little comfort, a little reassurance, a little thank you, you matter, I wish you well. Those kinds of thoughts and feelings are really important, and honestly, it just makes your day to see someone, their eyes light up when you hand them, for instance, a little woven butterfly, or a woven lucky penny pouch. These are projects that I will be posting videos of, but you know, it's so good to find these ways. Oh, I just did it without saying. I just pulled the shed stick out because there just isn't room to finish weaving all the way to the top when that shed stick's in the way. So that last row I will just pick up from the left to the right and take it through. And now I'll pull my thread out of my needle, and I'm going to go over, let's even go down a bit more, see if I can go down a bit more. I'm going to take the weaving needle over the ones I went under. You know, I'm just going to continue carrying on in the same pattern, but I'm going to lift, usually I lift the stitches off one at a time at the top there, and now I'm going to just fold those ends in, tuck them into the needle and pull them through, and I will now go down to the lower side edge of the loom, and following the pattern of the weaving, I'll do what I usually do, which is to actually, I was chatting away to you and not paying attention, and so what I normally do is lift them off one at a time onto the weaving needle. Now this last one is a little different. I go under that loop so that the angle of the ends of the stitches are all in line, and again I fold the ends over, I push them through the all right, let's try that again. I fold the ends over, I push them through, and now I will take that through. It's sticking for some reason, I'm not sure why. Things can be mysterious at times. Okay, and so this is how it comes off the loom. Now, sometimes with thicker yarns, you'll end up with more yarn left at the end, and that's great because you'll just use it for sewing your motifs together. Because of course the projects are all made up of the squares and the rectangles and the petal shapes and this, that, and the other that I will be showing you in more videos. So I wish you well. I wish you joy. Be safe. Be kind. And I hope you'll join me in weaving kindness. So all the best and take good care. And there is more to follow, and you can, like I said, you can follow me at toddytalkscrafts.com. The link is in the description below.